Alrighty, y'all. It's Friday. Let's have some fun and hopefully get a few laughs. We're taking a look at European memes today from to Western Europe for you. So I guess these will be mostly Western Europe focused. And these are not exclusively USA versus Europe memes like I usually do, but rather just European. Let's take a look. China has survived 5,000 years. But sure, buddy, this time it'll collapse. In response, but Moore says, Greece survived 6,000. Got hollowed out by Goldman Sachs in a year. What savages don't understand is that civilizations as old as Greece and China have had several ups and downs over those thousands of years. Goldman Sachs is nothing compared to the Bronze Age collapse or the 3rd century crisis or the 15th century. I mean, yeah, that's true. Americans are about to have their first one. It's called growing up. Not sure where he got 6,000 years, though. We are not that old. Give us a break. Funny that Greece's cost of borrowing is now cheaper than the U.S.'s. That's crazy. What a turnaround, right? How so much can change in a matter of like 10 or 15 years? Germany watching other countries start World War III without it. Is this how the OG player gets treated? New Pope mobile revealed? Rumor has it they're planning an 8-lane overpass through the Vatican, plus a few McDonald's. We're doomed. That is freaking, now that's a meme. That is good. Oh my God, not the huge lifted ram. That is incredible. Wow. Yeah, I'm still in disbelief. That's pretty interesting and crazy that the new Pope has been elected and it's an American, and it's kind of crazy in the news feed around me locally, just because he's actually a Chicagoan and a White Sox fan. It is pretty crazy to hear an American Pope just in general. That's something I'm not used to hearing. Okay, Captain Switzerland. Okay, I see. So German humor, French humility, Austrian accountability, Liechtensteiner war mentality, and Italian work ethic. That is how you get the almighty Captain Switzerland. Gotcha. Yeah, those are some incredible attributes. Also, famously easygoing and open-minded when meeting strangers. You could work 10 years in a Swiss company and still be skipped over by your colleagues after work drinks. Missing the intelligible language part of Denmark. Where's Dutch generosity? Spanish government, the lie about what happened with the power grid. Oh my God, there it is. They're cooking it up. What's it going to be? To be honest, the answer makes sense. The question was the 15 gigawatt that disappeared from the input, and this is where the REE technicians will have to look for, but the process makes sense. 15 gigawatts of the input disappear. The buffer system is not enough to buffer the requirement of energy and protect the network. Therefore, the security system shuts down the network to protect the infrastructure. During this event, France does their part, shutting down the connection to avoid being dragged along with us. Also, other European countries, a logical thing to do. Portugal has no choice and came down with us. The question remains, how the F does 15 gigawatts disappear? France power grid to protect the rest of Europe. You shall not. Oni dominion penencoec es gesmolten. Let me translate that. Okay, so this basically is something along the lines of not the minion pancake. That is actually hilarious, though, how they got it all ready. I think they're really excited. They put it in to bake, and then it comes out looking like that. Oh, cooking and baking to fails, I don't know why, are actually really satisfied. They're really hilarious. That is horrifying. Not at all what they were expecting, especially if there's kids involved. Know the difference. Great Danes and Danes. Oh my God. I feel like I'm missing a little context to fully get it, but I can see what's going on here. Okay. During my Erasmus year in Denmark, as I fell asleep and missed my train station coming back from a party, a lovely couple was very insisting that I should go sleep at their place. After kindly refusing, she wrote her phone number down on a piece of paper and gave it to me. I was pretty embarrassed, but the man was smiling at me and told me, call her someday. So yeah, this meme clicks. Holy crap. Alrighty. Well, you get an education every day on the internet, don't you? I guess it can't be avoided. Here is a very easy European W or Europe versus America. We do have one that showed up in the feed. Bread in Europe versus bread in America. Of course, bread in Europe, flour, salt, water, olive oil, sourdough starter, fermented for 3 days. Then you have bread in America, refined, bleached with chloride, treated with potassium bromate, sunflower oil, fortified with iron, synthetic vitamins, made with GMO wheat, higher in gluten, not fermented. And they're probably doing us a favor. There's at least 10 more ingredients that should be on there. Yeah, I'm not even kidding. Look at the ingredients list on a lot of products, even bread. It's kind of frightening. I wonder if that would trigger a DMCA strike, the music. Hopefully not. An old American pickup truck, although I'm not sure, but it looks like it, at least a style. And dancing to a bar song. Some old, like, country dance, USA style, in Olten, Switzerland. Not something I didn't think I would see today. This video is fake. Nothing happens in Olten. There are no people in Olten. I thought organized fun was illegal in Switzerland. It's not illegal. We just don't like to do it. These people are sick, probably living what Olten does to you. What? Not even the most neutral country survived the Yankification. Wow, I actually can't believe it. Of course, McDonald's was in the background. I didn't even notice that. You're right. That is like the perfect icing on the cake. Wow. If I, like, I'm trying to think if I travel to Europe, I'm, like, expecting all this different, like, totally different experience, different culture, different architecture, the whole 9 yards, right? And I walk up, like, the first thing I see is this. Something I could see, like, literally in a small town in Illinois at a festival or a market. I would be hella confused. What are young Europeans worried about? It's an interesting map I thought I'd throw in here. War. And I'd say that's a very valid worry, a very valid concern. Health, okay. I mean, you should always be worried about your health, too. Housing, okay. Housing prices must be soaring in these countries. Ireland, and is that Netherlands? Hopefully it is. Hopefully I'm not wrong there. Taxes in, what is this, Latvia or Lithuania? One of those, I think. And then education. And Hungary, okay. Damn, taxes in Lithuania must be really bad. Imagine being next to Russia and being worried about taxes. Wow, that's a good point. This is more accurate as a young person, all of the above. that is, I think, the correct answer. France worried about health? Go to the gym and eat a carrot. Health, I don't think it would be on my top 10 if I was French. They're too worried about being too healthy. For the French, living longer means spending more time in France. Truly a horrible fate. Oh, my God. And herein lies the supposed perfect graph. Quality of food, shitholeness. Just a normal poster in Italy. Okay, looks like Italy, yeah. All nightclubs are controlled by the Romanian mafia. They cheat you, they rob you, they become violent. Look up Paceville clubs on the internet and see for yourself. What? That's Malta, though? Italian Arab moment. What? Bloody immigrants coming here and stealing our mafia. Viva Italia. What are those toilet cleaners, pretzel eaters, weird economics, and uncultured Americanos doing on our soil? Last few centuries of popes. Okay. Been a hell of a run. And then got all jumbled up right here. After all this, to end up right here, that is pretty fascinating and would not have been on my, sports betting card, let's just say. For the new pope to be American is truly shocking and fascinating. Would have never predicted that. There was a glorious Dutch pope in 1522. He probably sent everybody a Tiki for salvation. Isn't that just an indulgence with extra steps? Tiki is a popular Dutch app for sending and receiving payments, similar to services like Venmo or PayPal. That is hilarious. Today I learned that a German complained that Cyberpunk 2077, the video game, used the wrong manhole standardization. It's beautiful. Oh my God. Only a German. Like, how is this even a thing? Come on, at Cyberpunk Game, of all the bugs, this is the worst. There may be some canon reason why German manhole covers are used in Night City. Well, are they? But please, DINB 125 is only allowed approved for pedestrian walkways. On roads, it should be a Bigu D400 to support that weight. That is actually legendary. The fact that someone posted this and someone captured this and let us all see it. Manhole covers, like, that's not a bug. I'm pretty sure that game, along with many released nowadays, has, significant bugs that had to be fixed and pointed out by the community. Looking at freaking VIN codes on a manhole cover and complaining about it, that is, honestly, I'm at a loss for words. I'm not sure if that level of detail, noticing, should be praised or condemned. It's a rare occasion that I'm moved to tears and feel patriotic pride, but this is such a moment. It's truly a lawless city. Literally unplayable. Yeah, there you go. German detail and humor, it truly is legendary. I applaud it. We could play this game too. France says U.S. independence funding was a loan and now is demanding $150 trillion in interest. You want to play ball, right? That would be the move right there. I can't even blame you. Of course, we're trillions and trillions and trillions in debt. So, yeah, I think the U.S. would be screwed. We as a country can't even seem to balance a budget ourselves. So, there you go. Me jamming out to a banger sung in a foreign language, even though I have no idea what they are saying. That, for better or worse, that's me. Lately, in the last, 6 months or so, when I started doing some song videos, of course, naturally, I discovered that there's lots of cool music from across the world, especially European countries, and I listened to some songs that I'm not really sure what they're saying, but, the vibe, like the songs, the sounds, the instruments, and the vocals sound like pretty cool. They flow. And come on, I know other people do this too. Me watching my third once-in-a-lifetime event. Yeah, relatable. I think we've been through too many once-in-a-lifetime events. Once-in-a-lifetime event sounds scary enough. So why do we keep getting them every 6 months? The whole slogan seems very misleading. I think the 2020s have started, and we're already halfway through the decade, which feels a little weird to say, actually, since it's all, for me and most people, kind of just blended together. Yeah, we've been through a little too many of these. Impressions of Europe as an American? Santa Claus? Petro Mafia with Dukes? Blonde people? Reindeer herders? Greater Poland? Baguette, of course. Basketball, oh yeah, very true, with the NBA. Kebab, European Texas. Castles, I don't know, high fashion. Incomprehensible dialect, the original Rust Belt, jolly good blokes. And more you could read. That's, Land of the Midnight Sun, way up there in Iceland. Yeah, I mean, kind of accurate, I guess. Impression of Bulgaria. It's kind of refreshing that the former Yugoslav countries are not described as warmongering nationalists. I mean, we are more warmongering nationalists, but we're good at basketball and football too. Soccer for fat citizens. Thanks for the clarification. Europe is something else, man. Making kids TV characters. America, Europe. These are American characters. Okay. Yep, I know all these. Relatable. What the hell are y'all watching on TV? These are freaking horrifying. The Smurfs, Lucky Luke, and Tintin, are we a joke to you? Courage the Cowardly Dog and Barney scared me as a child just fine. Yeah, those were the creepy ones here in the U.S. Thomas the Tank is from Europe? Nah, he is? I actually didn't know that. I should look into that sometime. There are so many things that's always been a theme on this channel too. There's so many things that are relevant here in the U.S. they end up learning is from somewhere else, and I always find that very interesting. But I can safely say I don't know these characters. These are absolutely frightening. Y'all can have them. Haha, Europeans die in heat. People make memes about Europeans die when it's above 25 Celsius. Central Europe, where summer is 24/7, around 35 to 42. This is something I'll try and pay attention to this year. I remember, dabbling into it a little bit over the past couple of years. And people have told me, I think, that, yeah, even in Germany or Austria or Czech Republic or whatever, like, you pick your place. Even in Central Europe, it can get really, really hot. You can get heat waves, pretty far north. We got to think about humidity too, right? I've never been one to think like, oh, Europe is cold, like some people might ignorantly think. But yeah, I think it actually might be even warmer than most people, even myself included, might actually realize. Then you have this heat barrier between Eastern and Western Europe today. How does this even happen? Weather can be interesting, sometimes complicated. This is kind of crazy. Like, look at how hot it is up here, but then how chilly it is down here. What the hell is this even about? Finally, what country in Europe never makes the headlines? You guys got to answer that. Latvia is this vote. Someone also said, last time I heard about Liechtenstein, it was because we had a friendly before the Euros and we drew. Yeah, I will have to agree. I never hear about Latvia. I never hear about Liechtenstein. I don't really hear about Lithuania either. But then again, this is from an American perspective, and I seek out Europe stuff way more than the average person. Like in my neighborhood, I can't really picture anyone looking up European stuff and maps and news and stuff on a daily basis. I don't picture that, and I'm willing to bet they don't. But I do. And even I, as a more curious American than usual Americans, I don't hear much at all about quite a few countries. Like anything, there are like the more famous countries that kind of grab all the attention. And Latvia, Lithuania, Liechtenstein, Luxembourg, like they don't get much press. There are about 1 million of these I could look at. I'm going to cut it there. I hope that was fun and interesting and at least got a little bit of a laugh out of you on this Friday. I hope your weekend is going to be awesome. I'm hoping for the same. It's supposed to be great weather here. So that's, fingers crossed. That's cool. I want to be filming some taste tests. Hell yes, they're coming back. So I hope you enjoy those. And yeah, I appreciate you watching. My name is Ian. You're watching IWrocker. Until next time, y'all. Catch you later.